All right, good afternoon and welcome to a Pebble Beach version of In the Loop podcast. I'm Drew Belt. I got my co-host over here, Sam the Jeff Coat. We're here to talk about a lot of things. Sam, but especially this weekend, we had a really good weekend of golf. I would say it almost felt like the start of golf for the year.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? It was kind of like the kickoff event. And usually it's Hawaii, but since Hawaii was kind of a drab,
Yeah, a little different this
year. It's kind of turned into Pebble Beach. So talk a little about what happened this weekend. Was it really Pebble Beach we were talking about, or what was it there, Sam?
Well, I'm going to pivot to my boy AK making his return and getting a win on Live and outlasting Bryson and John Rahm, who are arguably two of the top 5 best golfers in the world.
Yeah. And that was in Adelaide?
Yes, Australia.
Part of the Live tournament. So what happened that final round with Anthony Kim? What happened with John Rahm? What happened with Bryson DeChambeau?
I mean, I think those guys were a little intimidated by vintage AK because it came out in the final round. He 9 under.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pretty impressive, and I don't know if you saw it, but like all the enthusiasm and energy. I mean, he was fist pumping like he was fighting Mike Tyson after every birdie putt he made, which was fitting. And
he was fighting some major demons.
Yeah,
major demons.
I mean, his story is just incredible with not being able to continue playing on the PGA Tour and battling addiction with drugs, alcohol, and I think it was his Achilles. Is that what his injury?
I think it was his Achilles.
Yeah, and I remember reading something that was like his wife and his daughter like had to physically walk him into rehab, and it's just a cool story, and I'm a sucker for a comeback story.
Yeah, I am too, and when I saw that was happening, I was super invested in it because I wanted him to win. He was one of the greats, gonna be greats that just didn't pan out, and a couple interesting stories of AK from my past is, I was super interested to see him. It was probably like 2010 Augusta National Monday practice round. I'm on number 10, and he comes over, puts his clubs right in front of me. I'm so excited because I'm going to shoot a video of his swing because phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, is it one of the best of all time?
It's one of the best of all time.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm so excited to shoot a swing and shoot a video there. And he goes in his bag, rummages around his bag, and gets an empty bottle of wine and walks it over to where I'm standing. And I didn't know this, but his manager was right behind me, behind my shoulder, and he said, here, he put the bottle of wine over my shoulder, and he said, here you go, fill up again, same thing, just put on the number again. He goes, okay, and he sat there waiting, and came back with a refilled bottle of wine.
Wow.
Gave it to AK, and around that same time, I didn't realize what was going on, but I'm sitting there going, man, he just drank a bottle of wine in 9 holes in a practice round.
Yeah.
Like, tell me how hard that is to do. Maybe some of us is not so hard, but myself it's hard, and especially when you're playing at the Masters. And so he obviously was battling demons. And what I didn't know also is he was doing allegedly some sort of drugs between holes, between rounds.
In the bathrooms.
He couldn't even stay out of the bathrooms. Like, I went to a Live tournament up in Tennessee, and I watched him when he was first on Live, and it was almost like he didn't know what was going on around him, and he had to have a handler wherever he was going.
Yeah.
So, man, such a cool comeback, and such a neat thing. And he did shoot 63, Sam, but Bryson DeChambeau shot 2 over. In a day that there were multiple 65s, Leishman shot 65, there's a couple 65s out there. DeChambeau shoots 2 over, and Rahm shoots, 3 under?
Yeah, I mean,
it just was a fall apart by those guys. It's almost like they're like, okay, let's give AK his due.
No. I mean,
it was so bad, though.
As competitive as Bryson DeChambeau and John Rahm are, they definitely weren't handing it to AK. And I mean,
right.
Just hats off to AK because, I mean, like going back to the fist pumps, like in the videos, you can feel it. Just like him letting out everything that he'd, been going through in his past with every single putt he made. And I thought that was the cool part. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know Bryson shot 2 over. I was so invested in in AK's round.
Yeah, I had to look up what Bryson shot. I was just, what happened to Bryson on the leaderboard? But the other thing that was super neat was the interviews afterwards and how he was saying that was his daughter.
Yeah.
And he was basically like, she doesn't think I'm a loser now.
Yeah.
Which if that doesn't get you
tearjerker,
nothing will get you. I mean, that's absolutely incredible to prove it to the people around you. Man, what a cool story. So that dominated the headlines, didn't it?
Dominated the headlines. I mean, obviously, you got the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, and there were a ton of headlines there. But, I mean, if you're a golf fan and you were around when AK was, tearing it up on the PGA Tour, I think he's one of like 3 guys to ever win 3 times before the age of 23 or 4.
Yeah.
And obviously him in the Ryder Cup is the most electric thing you've ever seen in your entire life.
I love watching the old YouTube videos, and if you haven't seen them, they're all over YouTube, of him doing these clinics with Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And Tiger saying, hey, I hit my wedge, gap wedge, or whatever, 120 yards, and asking Anthony, like, AK, how far do you hit yours? And I was like, I don't know, I have to figure that out every day. And Tiger just shaking his head going, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, I just hit it, and on the range, I figure out how far it goes, and then I go out and play. And he was just a fun guy from California. It was just fun to watch. And so to see him again, it's just, that's the thing, is it was probably, in my opinion, the best moment Liv has had so far.
Oh, 1,000%. In my opinion.
It was the best press they've ever had.
I can't think of another one. And I mean, another cool part of this story is, it was his first 2 years on Liv. I mean, he lost his card. I don't know what they call it over there.
Relegated or whatever it is. I don't even know.
His status, and he goes back, and Liv added an extra spot for this year, and he went in and qualified and got it. And I hope that this is just kind of a jump start for him, and him. I just hope he continues to, putting his foot on the gas and winning golf tournaments.
Yeah, it would be really cool to see, and man, that was something about, his swing is something that, like, you watch him hit it and you go, there it is again.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is again.
Yeah.
The perfect move, everything, and you're like, what do you work on when you swing that good? Aesthetically, it just looks so good. So obviously there's things going on but man, it's good. It's fun to watch. So I was super invested this week in Pebble Beach. Why are we so invested right now, Sam, in Pebble Beach?
Well, everybody, Drew and I are going over with a couple members over to Pebble Beach, and I think we leave a week. My group leaves a week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Y'all leave a week from today.
Yeah, 7 days from now we leave. So we're playing in the World Pro-Am at Pebble Beach. Not associated with the PGA Tour event. We like to think we're playing the PGA Tour event. We're not playing the PGA Tour event, but we are playing a World Pro-Am. It is going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of good golf. Both groups are playing Poppy Hills. We're playing the Preserve, which is a really cool,
super ultra
private place. And it's on a 40,000 acre nature preserve up in the mountains and the hills near Carmel. So that's going to be super cool. We're going to play there. And then we got Spyglass, Pebble, Spanish Bay. And it's so hard to get ready for all 3. But your group, got a little bit ahead of it. You guys played Pebble yesterday. On the simulator, does a simulator get you ready for real golf like you think it should, or you just swing and hit it?
You just swinging and hitting
it. You're not even caring about the water, are you?
No, I mean, you're not looking at it. But, I mean, I will say it's just cool to get the little prep in from a visual standpoint. You kind of know roughly, hey, I can hit driver here. There's a couple quirky tee shots. I mean,
it's pretty quirky.
3's a severely dogleg left, and you don't really see it like that, on TV, and 2's really tight. 1's really not a driver, but of course I'm gonna, aim at the bunkers and hit a big old high cut.
Yeah. Good luck with that shot. So, here's the thing about Pebble, and I've looked into it a lot, and I almost think that it might be, there might be more difficult courses, and Pebble might not be. But if you can put the ball in play, it's really not that. But here's the thing: you have to put the ball in play. It's not that long, and you have to like kind of carve tee shots. Or you said number three. Number three, do you hit driver? I mean, you have to snap hook it around the corner, correct?
I'm ripping dog.
Yeah, you're ripping
all
dog.
day.
Okay.
But I mean, you can even
I'm chipping a 3-wood.
Yeah, but I mean, you can even notice like on the simulator like how tiny those greens are.
Yeah.
They're so small.
Yeah.
And it's like, and there's not a ton of room for error because I mean, I don't have a ton of experience on Poana greens, and I don't even know what is it Poana rough. I don't know how that works.
I don't know 100%, but I believe it's ryegrass rough.
It's ryegrass.
And so it's like thick bladed. It's not what we're used to here. So we're almost going to have to kind of relearn how to hit a. It's like a pseudo like bunker shot out of it if your ball sits down. And how much rough is there going to be at Pebble? Because I watched it this weekend and there was some rough. That's the other thing. You're watching the golf on TV and you're going, oh please God. I hope we do not have 50-mile-an-hour winds. Did you see that? What happened in the practice round, Sam?
I mean, you had guys, hitting a flop shot like towards the water behind the green on 7, and it coming straight back over the top of their head and almost going in the hole.
Grillo was hitting that almost went viral flop shot that went up and backwards.
And I mean, you got Siwoo Kim and Scotty Scheffler hitting driver on 17, aiming 400 yards left, hitting a big old high cut into that tiny green.
And Scotty was short of the green.
Yep, I think
Scotty was short of the green with a driver.
Speaking of, how fun has Siwoo Kim been to watch?
Siwoo Kim is great. He's a really, really fun to watch. A lot of those Korean guys, Asian guys come over, and they're just really good dudes. Siwoo's one of them. And he kind of has this dry sense of humor when he's out there. And I think a lot of guys like to be around him because
just kind of an easy go spirit. And I think I saw a video of him this week where they were like, "Hey, what are you gonna do on this tee shot?" And he's like, "I'm just gonna hit it hard and hope it goes straight," or something along those lines. And
isn't that what we're doing?
Yeah, I guess.
Just hope.
Just more hit it and pray. But no, Drew, let's talk about going back to Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah,
I know he didn't win the golf tournament, but
he's done that twice in a row where he's like hasn't won, but he's kind of been the talk.
Yeah,
Why?
Because typically we're not used to him spotting the field a shot or 2 or even 10 in this case. I'm gonna say the leaders were at 10 under after the first round. He shot even par, and if this was a 54-hole event, no shot at live here. But if it was a 54-hole event, Scotty would have run away with it. I mean, I want to say he bogeyed his like 3rd or 4th hole. I think he started on the back in the second round. He made a bogey to start the round, and then pretty clean card, birdies and pars coming in. I don't think he made another bogey until 8 in the final round.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty's really good, and we kind of take it for granted a little bit how good he is and what he's doing. He's got a few years left, okay, but he's pushing into some of the things that Tiger did, and you can find stats that he's beaten Tiger. What are some of the stats that he's beaten Tiger on? I mean, there's a couple, aren't there?
Yeah, I don't know the exact, because I mean, there are so many Tiger stats that just keep coming
There's
up.
Tiger stats that just blow your mind.
You never hear of, but I mean, I want to say, so like in 2000, 2001, Tiger in 13 starts had 12 top 5s. And Scotty just had his 8th straight top 5 and his 18th straight top 10. So, I mean, he's kind of getting in that window. And, I mean, nobody will ever catch Byron Nelson's 65 straight top 10s in 1945. But a little more modern era, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that, unfortunately, I'm a huge Byron Nelson fan, kind of like the father of the modern swing and all that. But, like, I look at the time that he did it, and some of the best players in the world. Like, it's just easier to do it when it's against 10 players. No disrespect to Byron Nelson.
Yeah.
Scotty, even Tiger. I mean, look, hey, even Tiger. My argument for Tiger against Jack is Jack beat 15 players. Well, Tiger beat 65 players. Scotty's beaten how many?
100.
100 players, and every week they're so elite. There's so little difference between him and everybody else, or talent-wise.
Yeah.
Than Tiger. Tiger, there was a Grand Canyon between him and everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, Tiger was winning with his, C-D game.
Right.
Whereas, nowadays,
Scotty can't.
well, he's
If he has his D game, he's not going to win.
Yeah, but when was the last time we saw his D game? First round
of
last two tournaments
of TPC, and then but then if it was the last 3 rounds, he wins both of them.
Exactly.
He's good, and I take him for granted because he doesn't really do it with excitement though. He just kind of like goes out there and plays. He's almost like a modern day Byron Nelson. He just kind of goes out there and does it. His swing is different.
Yep.
It's almost bringing in a different generation of players that it's. I love it, man. It's okay to move your feet.
Yeah, it's also
like anybody that puts if you're listening to this and any instructor holds onto your feet and glues your feet to the ground, run so far. Run so far. If anybody says you got to keep your feet planted, you got to not dance when you hit it, run. Because he's proving that that's not the thing.
Yeah.
So I love that. He does it without emotion.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he just looks like
Anthony Kim showed a lot more emotion this week than Scotty.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy to me. He can. Now, granted, recently you've seen him throw a couple little fits, but you normally don't see that from Scotty. He's typically pretty level-headed. You can't tell whether or not he's playing very good. You just kind of assume that he's on that top page of the leaderboard because he has been for the last really 2 years. I
saw a video of him throwing a fit from a chip at TPC. We'll talk about that a little later, but he did hit a chip shot that wasn't very good and had the internet buzzing. Social media internet was afire.
It just seems like, now, because he hits so few little bad shots, that like when he hits a bad one and he reacts, like it's a meme on the internet now. There it is. It's Scotty.
Hey, look, Scotty hit a bad shot.
Yeah. I mean, he's human.
Yeah, I remember videos a couple of years ago at Pebble Beach, almost slip and fall, and the ball goes 300 down the middle. I actually think that Scotty overall and this is going to sound crazy, has a better tee game than Tiger Woods. Week to week. It's crazy to say that, but I think that because Scotty, when do you see him hit like off the planet shots?
I mean,
do you see that ever?
Drew, if I'm being completely honest, I hadn't really seen him miss many golf shots ever. It's just, you think, obviously, talking about his footwork, it's like you watch that. If you didn't look at, where the golf ball went, you'd be like, well, he just hit that, off the planet.
We got none of that.
Yeah.
We got none of that. All right. So we go from.
Well, hold on. We got to talk about the guy who won the golf tournament.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is we talk about these guys and we don't even talk the winner. Who was the winner this week? I don't even know.
Colin Morikawa.
First
win since the 2023 Zozo, I think. So it's been a minute.
What do you think about Colin Morikawa?
It's really hard not to like his golf swing. He's such a good iron player, really good ball striker. I mean, heck, if the dude
really good ball striker.
Really good ball striker. If he can piece it together with the putter, he's an automatic, insert him into the top 5 players in the world with how good he hits it.
Yeah, and he hit, what did he shoot the third round? He shot 62?
Saturday, 10 under 62.
62 and he hit all 18?
All 18 greens.
And so did Akshay.
Akshay did.
Second round.
Second round, I believe.
So 2 people did that at Pebble. That happens once in a while on tour.
Yeah.
And that goes to show you, like, Pebble Beach, and I've talked to a couple people, they can't really move it back further. They can't do too much to it. It's really like a ball striker's paradise.
Yeah.
Like if you can strike it good, the better ball strikers play better when the wind is blowing under bad conditions. Look at Tiger; he loved Pebble. So Counts. He's getting a little bit hard to root for. He's getting a little bit disgruntled, but love his golf swing, love what he's doing, and he's just a ball striking machine. So I think the U.S. is better when Colin's playing good golf.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you can't take it away from him. He golfed his ball, and final round 67 after shooting 10 under 62. It's to me like the hardest thing to do is piece together a round after you just played your rear end off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. And so here's what I want to ask you. All right, Jacob Bridgman.
Okay.
He's sitting on 18, hits it into the stones.
Yep.
I thought he was going to go surfing. I didn't know what he was doing.
Having to wait on him.
Having to wait on him. Colin did. you know, he's sitting there hitting that shot, and I don't have a lot of Bridgman history here, but think about, like, these guys don't think about it, and this is why they're there, but think about how much money he just cost himself with that shot. If he dropped and makes par,
I mean,
or if he makes birdie, if he doesn't hit that second shot down there, you know, he cost himself 6 figures, did he not?
Yeah, I mean, a couple $100,000.
When you hit it from down there, you better be able to hit it, and you better be able to get it up top. Hit it 50 yards over the green for that matter. But man, I was watching him just like grabbing my head, going, I hope, and I don't even know the guy. But he cost himself a lot of money.
I mean,
18.
again though, I mean, talking about how good all these guys are, you can't. If I'm him, I'm taking this whole tournament as a win.
Yeah. Minus
the 72nd hole. I mean, made a questionable decision, kind of bit you in the rear end, but like, what he finished top 10?
Yeah, he finished. Let's see, I have to scroll down now. He finished T8, so he still did make some money. And listen, these guys don't think about the money. You and I do.
Well, duh, because we're not out there.
But. So, you know, here's a sneaky name. Hideki was up there. Lowry. I love, even though he plays for Europe in the Ryder Cups, I actually love Lowry. He's just a fiery son of a gun.
Cracks me up.
Bahatyev, Ashke fell apart down the at the end, really, the final round. He played terrible.
I mean, how about Sepp Straka, another Birmingham guy? So I'm a Birmingham guy, you know, so I'm pulling for Sepp a lot. And so Sepp with a...
And he plays for Europe.
Yeah, I know. But the guy, in Scotty fashion, they both eagled the last hole to kind of, you know, put a little pressure on everybody. And obviously Colin being in there 2 feet, you know, for the win, and Sepp making that at probably a little less pressure. But could you imagine if that, you know, Colin had like 5-6 feet and Sepp made that putt a little bit tougher?
Yeah, it'd be a little bit tougher. I mean, Straka, I love his golf swing, man.
I do too.
He's, you know, you see him on TV, and he's a big dude, kind of heavy set. But man, he has a beautiful move and doesn't really hit it forever. Just hits it really, really darn good. And you know, a story about him. So we're at the Ryder Cup in Italy, and we're sitting right near him, and there's some other people there from the United States, and he walks by and he says something to his caddy, and there was a random fan next to us, and he turns and goes, he has a deeper Southern accent than I do. What? How is he for Europe? I said, well, his parents, I think, from there, or maybe his dad. So
yeah.
But yeah, you said Birmingham. Yeah, he grew up playing there, and man, he's a good player.
Just so good.
Need more of him out there.
We do.
Good
for
guy
sure.
too. Does that get us all the way past Pebble? Anything else about Pebble?
That gets us past Pebble. We're, you know, obviously closing down the California swing with, you know, the Genesis coming up this week, and
you go from one historic course with Pebble to another historic course at Riviera with the Genesis. So
I want to say this is like, if you were to ask, you know, top 100 guys in the world what their favorite tournament and golf course is, I mean, majority of them are going to say Riviera in this tournament.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, like you said, super historic place and always really good. And we've
had
some
small greens.
Yes, tiny greens, and you know, we've had some historic finishes there too. So
yeah, and you're bombing driver everywhere around Riviera, aren't you? You're hitting 3-wood on number 10, aren't you?
Drew, I'm bombing every tee shot, because, you know,
why not?
300 yards, 320 yards, you know, in the rough is a lot better than, you know, 250 in the rough.
It's tough at Riviera. Some of those holes.
I'm just saying, it's, you know, I'm not as good as those guys, so I'm just going to try to get as close as I can and figure it out from there. All
right, so we got some of the favorites here. Obviously, we're going to see Scotty Scheffler again. You know, is he going to win? I mean, he's by far the betting favorite right now. We have Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Hideki Matsuyama, Tommy Fleetwood, Patrick Cantlay, Russell Henley. So there's some guns there. Colin Morikawa, he's plus 3,000. So Colin Morikawa wouldn't be a bad one, but is he going to win twice in a row? I don't know. There's your guy right there.
My guy.
Who are you pointing at?
I'm pointing at Sam Burns.
Sam Burns,
you know, got really close this week at Pebble, and you know, he's just best putter in the world. It's really hard to to bet against a guy like that.
No doubt.
You know, I'm not a gambling man, but obviously, you know, tough to go against Scotty. But I'm a big fan of Sam Burns this week.
Scotty's almost getting to that point where you could say, okay, you're going to pick Scotty, but who else do you want?
That's fair. Yeah.
Who else do you want to win? And the answer is probably Sam Burns for you. I don't think this sets up well for Rory. I'm going to eat my words if he wins, obviously. I think it's going to be like a Hideki Matsuyama, Russell Henley.
Russell Henley, it's another ball striker. That
Yeah.
guy, when he gets
Great
the putter
putter.
hot, yep.
Yeah, when he gets the putter hot, it is on like Donkey Kong. So we were mentioning Scotty hitting a shot at the TPC, right?
Yep.
And he chunked it. Colin Morikawa. And this is what's funny, is Colin hit a couple really bad chip shots at TPC, okay? And the social media world, galaxy, was in a buzz about how his chipping's done, how it's over, whatever. And then he goes and wins the next week. Like, social media, somebody does something bad, and everyone is so quick to just like throw stuff at the guy. We're like, dude, just hold on a minute. But one of the things that happened is instructors, you know, we are, and you know this, we are opinionated people. Our stuff doesn't stink, and we're going to tell you it. And there's certain people out there, I guess we can say their names because it happened, but they're basically saying what they did into their shots is they were too steep, and steep is bad. And there's a certain person named Joe Mayo who's come out with steep is good. And that's kind of how he's perceived because he puts that on social media. What happened there, Sam?
You know, Country Club Collection, yeah, I'm a follower. I love the stuff the guy puts on there. Don't know his name. I
don't know who he is either.
But, you know, puts a lot of good content out there. And he posted a video of Joe Mayo working with, you know, Pat Perez a while back. I think it was 2013 or 14, something like that. And, you know, Joe Mayo, you know, he's really, really good at what he does.
Really
and
good.
He's very adamant about, you know, his way and how he, you know, his technique is the way to do it. I'm not gonna, you know, put words in his mouth, but, you know, he's kind of on that spectrum of, hey, my way or the highway. That's just how I've taken it, and I could be wrong, but you know, and one thing that again, I try to chip a little bit, you know, and practice what Joe Mayo preaches. It works for me. But I also see the side of being a little more shallow. There are some shots that call for it, and Country Club Collection guy posted, you know, this video of them working together, and it kind of basically was a 180 of what he teaches.
Yeah, and
Joe Mayo
so
teaches
you know,
now.
it was from 2012, I believe, and he was working with Pat Perez. So a couple things that were on that I could defend Joe on these, like, so Pat Perez is known for hitting like low shots, and he doesn't hit it high. So he tries to like almost what they would say use the bounce, but he's really trying to flip under it a little bit more, put the ball forward. So Joe Mayo was teaching that to him at that time. So he came out saying that, but again, you know, we evolve as instructors. I mean, if you have to look at the PGA manual that I have sitting in my office, half the things in there are absolutely incorrect. I mean, you look at Ben Hogan 5 lessons. I had a lesson in here yesterday that he was talking about it, and I was like, no, that's incorrect. And he just kind of looked at me like, how is that possible? And I said, well, Ben Hogan was a lot further ago than 2012. So obviously we're going to find new things to better ways to do it, or, you know, you find what's wrong with it. We have so many, you know, there's so many ways to detect what's going on now that, and here's the other thing about Joe Mayo. He's never said that steep's the only way. That's just the way it comes across because that's what he puts out there.
Correct.
And he'll straight to your face say, no, you can hit, you know, up on a pitch, and I'll show you how. But that's not the shot that he portrays. And he's kind of like that antagonist on there that likes to say, because people are like, oh, you can't do that. And so he just barrels down in there and says, no, this is how you can do that. And he doesn't get off of it. And so people perceive that as, oh, you can only do steep, whereas he teaches all sorts of different ways to do it. I know that just from knowing him. So it's just kind of tough. And then when you listen, I'll tell people this, and it sounds harsh, but, and I'm not calling Country Club Collection an idiot, but when you argue with an idiot, it makes you an idiot. So sometimes you just have to go, yeah, I'm not gonna go down. I'm not gonna fight that battle.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look very good.
That definitely, was kind of the storyline going into Pebble.
Yeah.
There was more buzz about that than really anything on the internet golf-wise.
And there was other instructors, I'll name his name, Jonathan Yarwood, that really jumped on top of that and ripping apart Joe Mayo, and Mayo was back. It was just a back and forth, and it's just really, really bad for golf, bad for golf instruction. And maybe they look at it as a good thing because the truth comes out, but honestly, the truth never comes out, because there's going to be people that say, well, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. Well, what are they actually doing? They're doing whatever. They're doing a lot of different things, dude.
Yeah.
Sam, they're doing whatever they can at that shot, that the appropriate shot. And sometimes the appropriate shot is 10 down, and sometimes the appropriate shot is not not down at all.
To me, I think the hard part is deciding which one's best for what shot.
Yeah. And my experience teaching is from an average player, it's just easier to hit ball first, ground second, and get that person on the green. Are we trying to be cute with the ball yet? No. Can tour players be cute with it? Yes. So do I teach a shot that everybody can hit more often?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things about instruction. So I was talking about, we were talking about a lesson I had yesterday, and we were talking about the 5 fundamentals, and one of the things he talked about was he was trying to get his elbows really close together, and his elbows pointing almost like the inside of his elbow, just the snuff of his elbow pointing up in the air, and they're really tight together like this, and I said, I don't want you to do that. And he said, well, that's what Hogan wants. And I said, well, let me show you a video of Hogan actually doing it. And he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And so he was like, okay, so I can be loose in my elbows. And I said, yeah, absolutely. You don't have to tighten those. And then at the top of the swing, he was trying to get his left wrist in flexion. And I was like, dude, if you put your left wrist in flexion, remember, and his problem, he came to me, was he was hitting it left.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do you want the club face more shut? Let's forget about that and make it neutral. And he started, he was hitting a lot better when he almost got out of his own head. It's just so easy to find information nowadays on social media, right?
Yeah.
And it confuses everybody.
Well, the hard part, hitting the golf ball itself is a challenge. And you try to put, 87 different thoughts in your mind about how to get, the club from point A to point B to point C to point D back to the ball. I mean, you're not going to have a ton of success. I mean, especially for somebody like me, I like to see ball hit ball. Whatever shot shape I see, I try to hit it, and it doesn't work all the time, but I try to hit it, go find it, and hit it again.
Yeah, and
keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah, and that's just an easier way to do it, and keeping everything as simple as possible. And the problem is sometimes when people walk into lessons, they have their own agenda.
Yeah.
So they have a 10-point agenda when they walk into a lesson, right? If you have a 10-point agenda when you walk into my lesson, you're not going to be very happy, because probably not one of those 10 things has anything to do with what you're doing wrong. And so if you don't have the ability to listen and learn, I'm going to confuse the heck out of you.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you, no, it's not that. And you have it in your mind that it is, and that's where lessons go bad. And so people walk out of, like the lesson yesterday, what was the thoughts? Well, get your thumb underneath the club and hit a fade. Feel like you're hitting a fade. So I showed him that feel and, turn into the left side. And that was it. So he got his driver, and the only thought was get his left thumb underneath the club. And what about this? No. That's it. Boom, hit it, go straight. Boom, hit it, go straight. But if you have 7 other thoughts that you walk in here with, and you think, for some reason, you think that those are correct, and when I tell you they're not, and I give you one other thing, a lot of people look at me and go, well, you just give me my seventh thought. And I said, no, those are your thoughts. You got to get rid of those.
Yeah.
And that's the hard thing is being able to discern all that. And a lot of being a golf instructor is not just, and we're both learning, but a lot of being a golf instructor is not just, what they're doing and making it better, but a psychological lesson.
A lot of adapting.
Yeah.
On the fly.
Yeah. A lot of psychological lessons to the players.
So, Drew, I got a question for you, kind of on the same topic. We're starting a junior academy, right, this summer, and, wanting to speak on the junior golf side of it. So, for me, I got into the game pretty late. My godfather, is the only one that really ever taught me how to swing a club. So, I've got what he's telling me. I've got what a coach is telling me. I've got my own problems of actually trying to hit the stinking ball in the air. How do you preach to either parents or the player, like, hey, you got to stick to one voice, because too many voices in my personal, past and opinion, it's like that's confused me more than anything. Yeah. If I heard one voice and one swing thought or one thing to work on, I was a lot better. Yeah. But if I had 87 different things going on, hey, he's telling me this, oh, he's telling me this, which one's right? Yeah. How would you, address that with a parent or even a player?
Yeah, man, it's incredibly difficult, there's many different things you have to have around you to become a good player, and you have to have a good team around you. You have to have a good team around you. So you have to have. I'm not going to walk into Dr. Monroe's office and tell him how to work my teeth. I'm just not going to do it. And if you're the type of person that walks into his office, I can promise you, and tells him how to take your tooth out or something, then he doesn't want you there.
He might just give you some laughing gas and knock you out.
Yeah, tell you to shut up.
Take a nap.
But yeah, I run into that a lot with parents that they know more than I do for some ungodly reason, and they may be bankers or something. I'm sitting there questioning that a little bit, but you have to have a good team around you, and you can only do what you can do. So you just, at that point, you just hope if the parent, and I run into some domineering parents, and with girls, their dads, right? And boys have a tendency of kind of separating from their dads just a little bit. But the best thing a parent can do is you hired me for a reason. Let me do my job. And if they get in the middle of it, which it happens a lot, then my only thing that I can do is just sit back and hope that they can somehow get through it, because it's not gonna end well. So if you have too many voices, it's a problem. And there's a young kid that this week we're gonna have a lesson, and I've talked to him a lot about this. And I told him, if I'm teaching you, you are not watching YouTube. You are not watching Instagram. And you are not going to bring in ideas to this lesson that I don't care about. And that's something as an instructor, you're talking about Joe Mayo, it's like my way or the highway. You almost have to be that way a little bit, because if they go in a different direction, if you want the river running smooth, and if they go in a different direction, it turns into rapids, and eventually the rapids leads back to the river. But you don't want it to do that, because then you're down the line of your career or your life, and it just doesn't work that way. So unfortunately, for the parents that are doing that, and specifically, it's interesting sometimes. You're just ruining your kids. And if you want to be that extra voice, what I tell parents is, be a parent. Love, support, manage.
Yeah.
And that's it. Now that's harder. It's harder. It's easier said than done, but you want to do that as much as you can. And some of the most successful kids I've been around, they've quit golf and they burn out because of that push on them. So they all want to be Earl Woods, and you're not going to be Earl Woods. You are not going to be Earl Woods if you want to help your kid. If I had a son or daughter, maybe one day, you're going to teach them, not me.
Good deal.
That's how I go. And I'll sit back and I'll chew on my nails and I'll freak out and I'll just go, Sam, what are they doing? What are they doing?
No, you're probably going to be
That's
critiquing me more so than
No.
you kid.
No, I can't. I can't do it. They're going to be badminton players, professional badminters.
Yeah, Mom.
What do you think about that?
Coming from my mom played Division I tennis at Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
She is the director of tennis at Old Overton. She's been there for a minute, and was at Birmingham Country Club for a little bit, and Vestavia Country Club, and she's coached a ton of tennis. She's coached a lot of basketball, and as a coach's kid, she never really coached me, but there was always this extra not pressure. That was kind of something that I just put on myself that I didn't really need to. Mm-hmm. But she talks about it all the time now. Like, I wish I could go back and do it different. And she's, her big thing is like, hey, when you get in the car, don't talk about it. Just ask where you want to go get dinner. Where do you want to go get ice cream? Like, don't add the extra pressure of like, hey, I just shot 85. Okay, well, let's not make it worse by, rehashing out like, hey, why'd you do this there?
Yeah.
How about, hey, man, proud of you. Did you do your best? If you did, great. If you didn't, that's the conversation we're going to have.
Yeah. And so what I'll tell them, Sam, is the number one thing I'll tell parents is this. Good or bad, you treat your son or daughter like they shot 80. If they shoot 65, treat them like they shot 80. Say, that's great, but what can we do to be better?
Consistency.
If they shot 90, treat them like they shot 80.
Yeah.
You did great. It's okay. Let's go have ice cream.
Go do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get back after it.
And so many times they insert their own emotion into it.
Yeah.
And it's hard, man, but you just got to stay out of that as much as you can. And if you want to involve instructor and try to butt in, you're out. It's not going to work, man.
That's probably
it ain't going to work.
That's probably why I ended up playing golf and not, anything else, is because that was the one sport that my parents didn't really know anything about.
Badminton. Okay, what else we got?
Okay, all right. I got kind of like we did last podcast. We picked, what was it? Golf courses. What was it? I can't remember. Oh, we picked players. And I gave a dollar amount, and of course I screwed that up and went over my budget. But today, let's have a little 1v1. We're going to pick a scramble team of pro athletes, but you can't have any professional golfers.
Okay. I want you to go first.
Okay, we'll do two three-man scramble teams.
Okay.
And you can add yourself, or we can do four. You pick.
Okay, perfect.
What do you want to do, 3 or 4?
3.
Okay, we'll do 3.
It's easy.
All right, so first and foremost, I think you got to take Tony Romo.
Yeah.
He's just, solid player.
So you got Tony.
I got Tony.
All right, I got Marty Fish.
Okay. I'm going to take John Smoltz, pitcher for the Braves.
Now that hurts me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so I got Marty Fish. He's a stick. I'm already going to beat you with him.
Stud tennis player.
And you got John and Tony. So I'm gonna have some fun here. I'm going to put Larry Fitzgerald on my team. And
Okay.
Larry Fitzgerald is sneaky. He's a plus handicap.
Yeah.
He's sneaky.
When I was a kid out at Birmingham Country Club, I was out there on the range with a couple of my buddies, and, you see this gigantic specimen of a human being on the range, and I'm like, guys, that's Larry Fitzgerald. That's Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cool getting to see him out there.
Yeah.
And I know he's a, avid golfer, and pretty stinking good at it too.
Yeah. He loves playing the Pro-Ams out in TPC.
Yeah.
All right, who we got?
To round out my third and final pick, I'm going to go with a guy who, if he can putt as well as he shoots a basketball, you're in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to take Steph Curry.
You are going to take him. Okay,
Yeah.
So you got a really good team. You got Smoltz, Romo, Curry. That's pretty good. I got Marty Fish, Larry Fitzgerald, and you know who I'm going to take?
You better take the quarterback in Buffalo.
Nope.
No?
Nope. I'm going to take Michael Jordan.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'll tell you what.
Aura.
We're not going to beat
Intimidation.
you. If I took whoever I take, we're not going to beat you. Maybe if I make some putts. I'm going to get Michael Jordan on my team because I want to be in Michael Jordan's circle.
Yeah. No joke.
I just want to be in his circle. I just want to see how he is on the golf course, and I think it'd be really cool. And Marty Fish, he's already really good. Larry Fitzgerald. It's going to be a putting contest anyways.
Yeah, I mean, everybody
and
hits
Jordan
it.
can putt. I want to play the Grove 23. Like I want to be somehow in Jordan. And I was a Pistons fan growing up. I'm still a huge Pistons fan. But you had to appreciate Jordan, even being a Pistons fan. He's just absolutely incredible, and I say he's the best ever still. So to have the opportunity to be with one of the greats on the golf course, it would be an awesome experience.
Absolutely. That's a great pick. I didn't think you were going to go that route, but good pick.
Yeah, just for the experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, as competitive and as clutch as he is, you know he's going to hit some shots.
The only issue I got is is he going to make me smoke a cigar? And I can't do that in the golf course.
Come on, man.
I'd be throwing up.
So you're telling me if Michael Jordan asked you to smoke a cigar with him on the golf course, you wouldn't?
Oh, I'd do it, and I'd be throwing up. Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Okay, glad we're on the same page.
I smoked 6 of them for him. whatever you say, Michael.
Yeah, that's right.
Michael, whatever you say.
The GOAT.
Yeah, so that rounds out our podcast today. So really cool today, Sam. Like I said, next week we're going to Pebble. And I think we're going to bring the video camera. We got a new video camera, so we're going to bring it to Pebble. We're going to shoot some stuff, maybe in the evening time.
Yeah.
At Pebble in Monterey. Bring you some inside scoops of what's going on next week. Should be a fun time. We're excited. And we'll see you then.
Absolutely. George, Drew.